It's Aldo with my Norwegian brother, Alred. How you doing? Afternoon, mate.
I'm doing okay, thank you. And how are you?
I'm okay, mate. Still trying to take in what's happened this morning at 10 o'clock. I TikTok video yesterday on the games last night, my predictions for the game. But when I came to the Newcastle Tottenham game, I asked two questions to the Tottenham fans out there. If Tottenham lost to Newcastle and West Ham beat Man United, that will put Spurs 3 points behind. Would they go down? Question mark. And then my next one was, if Tottenham lose to Newcastle tonight, the Spurs sacked Thomas Frank. Well, my question was answered at 10 a.m. this morning when Tottenham Hotspur announced that Thomas Frank had been sacked after 8 months in charge. I made some notes this morning, Alred, when I came into my shrine. I'm gonna read them to you, and then I want your thoughts on it, mate. As a neutral fan, because for me, what's happened to Thomas Frank, this sets alarm bells ringing for me at Liverpool tonight. But I want your thoughts on this. Spurs sacked Thomas Frank after 8 months in charge after last night's defeat to Newcastle, which leaves Tottenham in the 16th place in the Premier League and 5 points out of the relegation area, with only eight games without a win. And their next match is Arsenal on the 22nd of February, and just 2 wins in 17 games. So who comes in next? And I wrote 3 initials down: Harry Redknapp, Tim Sherwood, or Glenn Hoddle. Will Spurs go down? Question mark. And then Frank was appointed in June 2025, and after less than 8 months in charge, Spurs are now looking for the sixth manager in 7 seasons. Harry Redknapp, they said they've had top managers, Conte and Mourinho, so you have to look at the players. Do the players take any of the blame? Now, Thomas Frank's record reads 38 games, 13 wins, 11 draws, and 14 losses. So what are your thoughts, Alred, on what's happened this morning? And basically, it's still breaking yet.
I think it had to be done, to be honest. Tottenham is a too big a club to be where they are. There is, now that Levy is gone, who's been blamed for a lot of the issues they've had earlier with bigger managers and everything, and it looks like it's a club in I don't know, not in despair, but it's a club that has issues, whether it's players or the way things are, or the wardrobe, or the dressing room, or whatever it is. It is looking a lot like United sometimes, where it doesn't help to change the hammer, if you understand what I mean, when the nails and everything in the building is still bent out of shape. So I don't know, players, the manager, the club, everybody has their issues and reasons for things going the way they are. I mean, after they sold Kane and Son, retired or went to MLS or wherever he went, those were the big players who carried the club in the difficult times, and they haven't been good, in my opinion, when it comes to transfers and everything like that. I think Thomas Frank is a decent manager, to be honest. I don't think he is the main issue here. He either doesn't have the players to play his system. As I said, I think the team has been kind of bleeding players, quality players, for the last couple of years, and it has to show sometime. The only thing that kind of pisses me off a little bit is that Tottenham is doing something and we're not doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is as well, I think that the Tottenham faithful have made their feelings quite clear over the last 8 games or so. And I watched Tottenham last night, and my good friend Andy Martin, he rang me this morning, and I've had a conversation with him and asked him a simple question. And I said, Thomas Frank's getting the blame for this, but he's got 11 first team players out injured.
Yeah.
So his hands are tied to a certain degree. But I asked my mate, and I said, listen, do the players take any of the blame here? Because Because for me, if I was the owner of a football club and they're performing like they are, I would go to the training ground and say, listen, guys, you're not performing, you're not doing your job, you're not doing what you're getting paid for. So until you start performing and producing the goods, you're only going to get paid on a pay-as-you-play basis.
Yeah, well, you can't do that mid-season because you
Because of
have a
contract,
contract.
right? Now, I've been given some news today by Andy. He's got a friend who works at the Titanic Hotel in Liverpool. This is new for me. To me, this is straight from the horse's mouth. The players at the Titanic Hotel, the Liverpool squad, are not happy. They are walking around the Titanic, moaning and complaining about the training regime and how things are going. They're not happy, and they want Slot gone.
Yeah, I think I think you can kind of see it sometimes when I mean they have a professional integrity sometimes, and they don't want to lose, to be honest. But there is you can see it in their body language. You can see in the way they perform together as a team. There is something wrong, and the bold fraud. And I'm not talking about you, Aldo. I'm talking about I'm talking about the bold fraud that we have. And I mean, not to get political and all that, but when I see the press conferences or see interviews or articles that the bold fraud has had, now the last thing he said was, well, the club had to sell Luis Diaz because that's the way the club is run. Okay, fair enough, but that kind of comes off like, well, I didn't want him to leave. It's covering all bases. It's like listening to Donald Trump. He has no accountability. It's just words that are not coherent or put rightly together. It's just excuses and blah blah, in my opinion. And I'm fucking tired of it.
Yeah.
I understand that the club in the Salah period where Salah went out and they backed the manager. I agree that they did that one because Salah was going on AFCON and they got a time apart and everything. And we didn't have a replacement. We do have a replacement now. And if you've said this several times before, Aldo,
Yeah.
if they want Alonso, well, he's there.
Yeah. Well,
And if we don't win today, we are fucked.
yeah. Well, I had a discussion with my mate. Like I said, me and Andy were talking, and we've talked about the game tonight. And I can't get up for this game tonight. I can't get excited about it because of what happened on Sunday. I really can't. I'm deflated, and I've never felt like this, to be honest with you, in over 50 years of following Liverpool. And I asked Andy a simple question. We had a look at the betting odds regarding the next Liverpool manager, and Xabi Alonso is 4-5, right?
Yeah.
11-2 is Luis Enrique. 7-1 is Jurgen Klopp.
7-1.
7-1 is Jurgen Klopp. He's third favourite. And
He's not coming.
16-1 is Brendan Rodgers. Them's your top four for the Liverpool job. Me and Andy were in agreement with who we wanted, because we don't want Alonso, because for the simple fact is he doesn't understand the DNA of the club. He doesn't understand.
Alonso doesn't understand the DNA.
No, he's Spanish. He doesn't understand the DNA of Liverpool, because if you remember when he was in 2005, he forced his way out under Benitez. He wasn't happy with the Gareth Barry rumours of Gareth Barry coming in from Spurs. Alonso wasn't happy with that, and he wanted out. And he went.
Yeah, but
Madrid.
I've heard something else. I've heard that Rafa said, "I want you out, and I want the money to get Gareth Barry." Yeah. So but I mean, out of the four people you mentioned, that two people is not going to happen.
No, Jurgen won't come back.
Jurgen won't come back, and Brendan Rodgers. It's like going back. It's not only going back to your ex girlfriend. It's going to back to your
Well,
ex girlfriend, and
well,
that's just stupid.
yeah, I don't have nothing against Brendan Rodgers. I like him. I have nothing against him. And the thing is, he was unlucky not to win the league at Liverpool. I think if he'd have won the league when Gerrard slipped that season, if that hadn't have happened and we won the league, I think people would view Brendan Rodgers differently. It's because of how it happened when we lost at Palace
Yeah,
and we
well,
collapsed against Chelsea. But and when we were talking with the lads last night, Ben and Anton Stream, and I asked Anton Bent and Anton Ben, is the squad fit for purpose? I don't think it is. And I think the squad have down tools since the PSV game under Slot because they're not listening to him. So I threw a name out to my mate Andy as interim manager if Slot gets the bullet tomorrow. You knew I mentioned. You knew I want as interim manager.
no,
Kenny Dalglish.
no, fuck off.
Why? I'd sooner have
Um,
Kenny. I'd sooner have Kenny than Gerrard, mate. Trust me.
no, 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 no. For me, again, Kenny is a legend. King Kenny is King Kenny, done and done with. But the point is, he hasn't. The last time he was back, he didn't do well then either, and it's been 15 years since that or something. So he's gone. I'm sorry. I would rather have Steven Gerrard
No.
and maybe Torres as an assistant. I don't care. See what happened. United have now gotten two interim managers, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and now Michael Carrick.
Yeah,
Look,
you're next
look,
door neighbour, Solskjaer, isn't he?
yeah. Look what happened to them the two times they did that.
Yeah, manager bounce, isn't it? You mean
Yeah, but that's the point.
the reason I don't want Steven Gerrard in is nothing. He was a great player. We know that,
Yeah, but
right? And I don't want him to take his legacy as a player. There's two reasons I don't want him to come in at Liverpool. Look at his record at Aston Villa, 3-1, right? And look at the mess he left Villa in. Now, if Steven Gerrard comes in as interim manager, everything's going to be Steven Gerrard this, Steven Gerrard that. It's all going to be about Gerrard, not about the team, not about the squad.
I don't care.
Um,
But what have you and I been talking about for the last month? Slot.
yeah,
So what's the difference?
but
I don't care.
the thing is, if you look at I've looked at the league table again this morning, and this season is absolutely bonkers. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It reminds me of when Leicester won the league 10 years ago.
yeah.
I mean, if you look at the bottom of the table now, because I've said on TikTok, could Crystal Palace and Tottenham get dragged into a relegation dogfight? Yes, they can. Spurs are 5 points off going down.
Yeah.
Now, if they lose to Arsenal, that takes it down to 2. Now, if you're a Tottenham fan, Alred, you're not an happy bunny now. You're fucking fuming. You should be.
And I agree. I mean, Tottenham have maybe waited a little bit too long to make the changes, but as you mentioned, he has 11 senior players out with injuries. Now, you can be the best manager in the world. I mean, give Klopp 11 senior players out injured. It's going to do damage.
Yeah.
It's a fact. I mean, if the new manager comes in now, whether it's an interim manager or a permanent one, the Serbi is said to have left France earlier today. Now, it doesn't matter who comes in. It's still 11 players on the injury list.
Yeah.
So, you have a limited squad. And we have similar issues, but not like that. We have the similar issues on the right back. We play everybody but the right back at right back because of injuries and suspensions and whatever. And I think Spurs is going to have. I think, as I said, Spurs have 11 players injured, no matter who is manager. But they need another voice. They need another person to hear yapping in their ears about what they need to do.
Yeah.
And that means that's the same thing that we need. As you said, the players are
They
not
need,
happy.
no, they need a new voice.
Yeah, they need someone else's voice because they're tired of the one they're hearing now.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, if you live in London and you follow Spurs, and the unthinkable happens that Tottenham get relegated, they've got the best stadium probably in world football at the minute, without
Yeah.
a doubt. It's a stunning stadium, right? Now, for me, the players didn't buy into what Thomas Frank wanted to do with that, unfortunately. Now, looking at Liverpool, looking at our own club, we've got Sunderland tonight, then we've got Brighton in the FA Cup, and then the next two league games, we've got Nottingham Forest away and West Ham at home. Now, West Ham and Forest, them are two games that we could quite easily lose.
Yeah, but if you and I have been talking before the season started about the next upcoming games, we would have said 3 points in each and any one of them.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting and talking about, well, we're not going to win that, and I
think the club are gambling on Champions League football. Seriously, they're gambling with the top. But I don't think we'll finish in the top 5, Harold.
I don't think so. I've said that for months, and we got lucky with the results yesterday.
Yeah,
that's the first time we've got lucky with the results in ages, in my opinion. Because first it was we tried to put pressure on and City and Arsenal, and then that went away, and now we got lucky, and I don't think we're going to capitalize on it. And even if we do capitalize on it, that's the first time I can remember that we got lucky with the results. And we're still 4, 5, 6, 7 points off, safe Champions League spot. I don't think we are gambling with it. I think we've bottled Champions League, and it kind of looks like the club has, you know what, we fucked this up. Let's write this season off. Let's accept we don't get Champions League, and then we kick him in the summer instead.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I say gambled with it, I think they gambled with it by not signing a centre back in this transfer window. What's just gone, whether it's Matt Gay or not, but we needed a centre back, and they gambled on the squad that we've got, and it's pretty clear when you look at the bench, it's too weak. There's nothing there. Slot doesn't trust. He only trusts 11 players, but Virgil van Dijk, as example, he's played more games than any other player in the top 5 leagues in Europe this year up to now. Now his body can't sustain that.
No, he can't.
Until the little rat got the equaliser for City, Van Dijk was having a decent game.
Yeah. I mean, the second goal is a mistake by Alisson. And
what was he doing up there in his own half, in their half? And what was he thinking about for the penalty giveaway, as we mentioned in chat?
And the mistakes, the personal mistakes we made, kind of were the key moments that we lost this game. But we're still looking at the same tactical errors from Slot anyway, because we go one up down, we go one up, and then we fall back.
Yeah,
we give everything away. We give space, opportunity, possession, everything. And the first fucking thing that ball fraud does is, as it always does, take off a defensive player and put in a defensive one.
So the question is then, with what you've just mentioned there, my question, why are we going 1-0 up and then sitting back and inviting teams on?
Because he's scared.
Right, because we had City on the ropes.
Yeah. In the second half, we had them on the ropes.
Even before we went 1-0 up, we had City on the ropes. But the thing is, I don't know if you've probably noticed it, Harold, because everybody sees the game different. But you can't win Premier League games if you're only playing for 30 minutes every game, second half.
And the thing, it was 60 minutes something when we scored one up. It's 25, 30 minutes left.
Yeah.
If City can play how they want for 30 minutes, Well, you're not going. I mean, first of all, we shit at playing a low block. That's one.
Mhm.
Second, City is a good team, and if you give them the room and the space and the opportunity, it will eventually capitalize on it.
Yeah,
And it took 5 minutes.
yeah.
And
You know
then
what?
you're on the back foot. You can't. You've done some changes. You're mentally defensively, and then you have to just try and recalibrate and do anything about it, and then it's too late.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it just from a football, looking at it not through through Liverpool eyes, but football in general. If the embarrassing thing for me is we've lost to Man City at home and we've lost to Man United at home.
Mm.
And the City team, which we lost to at the weekend, that's the weakest City team under Guardiola I've seen come to Anfield and win.
Yeah, but
This
it's
is the time
it's
they've ever
still
done
way
it.
better than what we put on the field.
Yeah, and Erling Haaland, I know you don't like him. I know he's Norwegian. He's one of your countrymen. But Erling Haaland, right?
The
And
farmer.
yeah, Erling Haaland and Rodri. If them two guys don't get a shot in the arm off that win on Sunday, and they're in the dressing room and say, "Hey, listen, we've just come to the champions here, and we've won for the first time under Pep, right? If we don't pull our socks, if we pull our socks up now and play how we can win this league. Because if we beat Brentford on Wednesday night, we're 3 points behind Arsenal, and they've got to come to us yet.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not writing. I'm not writing City off.
I think the game for them tonight is important in that sense because
It's
if they
massive.
yeah, if they squander this one, they're kind of back to square one.
You know, you
But
know, and you look at Liverpool. I'm dreading tonight because I tell you what, this Sunderland team are not going to take any prisoners tonight.
no, and it's not a new thing that will and effort is what wins you games. You have to want it and you have to run and you have to work for it. That beats talent any day. And we don't have right now the talent. We have players who know they are never going to play for the club, like Rio or Ramsey. And
Yeah,
I mean, his man management skills are so poor
yeah,
that I I I mean, again, the favoritism on the slot was also very big. I mean, he had his favorite players. I mean, Hendo played anytime, no matter what.
yeah.
But the players who didn't play didn't feel left out.
No,
And we beat Chelsea in the League Cup with just a team of youngsters. And now the youngsters we have won't get anywhere near the starting 11
no,
I mean, imagine how it being for Ramsey. I mean, you're selected for every game. You're part of the first team squad. You're training with everybody every day, 5 times a week, whatever it is. You sit on the bench, and you know when somebody and everybody in front of you who's the right back is injured, and then you see everybody else get in front of you.
yeah.
And I mean, if he is that shit, let's say he's not good enough. Okay, let's say he's not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Then why the fuck is he on the bench?
Yeah. I mean, the thing, and what I found embarrassing on Sunday as well is he puts Chiesa on with 3 seconds to go.
Yep.
Seriously.
Mm.
I mean, if that's not an insult to the guy, I don't
Mm.
know what is. Because if I was Chiesa, I'd have turned around and told him to do one.
Yeah, I almost would have said, well, fuck you, I'm not going on.
You know,
I mean,
I mean, let's look at it. Look at it this way, right? Different football club, but they've got the interim manager.
mm,
He's won 4 games on the bounce. They
yeah,
drew last night, one apiece.
mm,
But Michael Carrick's walked into that football club and he's gone, right, let me have a look at the squad.
yeah,
Who's my best back four?
mm,
Who's my best midfield four? And who's my best front two? So
mm,
he's picked the best 11 players in them positions and he's put them on the park and look what's happening. They're getting
yeah.
results.
He's gotten more out of that squad than Amram did in the same
Yeah,
until he got sacked, and that's what I think. We need another voice. We need someone. It's not. it's not like they're going to invent football all over again.
No,
They're
we're
just
not
going to.
reinventing the wheel here.
No, they're not. It doesn't matter who comes in. They're just going to say something different in another voice.
But it's not rocket science what Michael Carrick's done, Harold.
No.
I mean, we could put our tracksuits on, go into the AXA, take the training session, look at the squad. We could go back into the office, have a cup of coffee, and say, right, okay, we've looked at the training session. Right, who's the best back four we've got out of the entire squad? Right, the best goalkeeper in. The best back four, right back, left back, centre half. Right, who's our best midfield four?
Yeah.
Who's the best front two we've got? Right, that's your starting 11.
Done. And one another. I have to go now, my friend. But
no worries.
But I just want to say one more thing. And
Cool.
now we know the right back position is filled by everybody else but Ramsey. But here's one thing that kind of pisses me off really, is that we take our best box-to-box player in Dominic Szoboszlai.
Yep.
I mean, he is kind of Gerard reincarnated when it comes to the box. He has an enormous work rate. And we put that player at right back. So not only are we taking the best player and put him somewhere he's not supposed to be, we weaken the midfield, who's been the issue for us almost all season because 100%. We lack the legs. Yeah. 100%. So we're not just shit in defense. We're now shit in defense and poorer in midfield. Why the fuck can't you then? I mean, at least put, if you're not going to use Ramsey, what about Robertson?
Yeah. I mean, so before you go, who starts at right back for you tonight then?
That's Jones, of course.
Curtis Jones, Endo, or Gomez?
Hey, it's of course Jones.
So who goes in midfield because Szoboszlai is suspended?
Yeah, but that's going to be the same midfield we had last game.
I mean, what's your gut instinct tonight? Yeah. Are you confident, or do you feel in the worst?
Okay.
Right. I will let you
go. But
I
I think it's the same team that played against City, and I think the only difference is that we have Jones as right back, and that's about it.
Yeah, I'm dreading it, to be honest, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, it is a game that we can suddenly. I mean, for every home game you don't win. I mean, for every Sunderland, for every home game you don't lose, you're closer to the one you lose. So I mean, we can get lucky, but I have no belief in this. And if we win, I'm going to celebrate the win. I think that's going to be good for us. It gives us a little bit of hope and energy. But if we lose, I'm probably going to be more upset, not by the loss, but we're not going to sack Slot anyway.
No. So do you think the FA Cup game could be his final game then? If we lose tonight?
I've said that so many times. I've said, first of all, he had to the Arsenal game, and when they didn't sack him after that, and none of the other games after that, I think if we lose today, he must be sacked.
Yeah.
If we don't sack him, if we lose today and he don't sack him, well, they can just fuck off all of them. But I gotta go, friend.
Okay, mate. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.
Post-game stream tomorrow?
Yeah, what time do you want to do it? Normal 8 o'clock normal time?
Yeah, we'll figure it out later on.
Okay, mate. Right, no worries. Do you want to host it?
Yeah, I can do. We'll talk about that later on.
You can host it and I'll come on as a guest.
All right.
Uncle Fester.
Just set it up and I'll host it. That's okay.
Okay, mate. We'll do. All right.
Okay.
I'll see you later then. Take care, mate. Bye-bye. Thank you. Okay, cheers, all. Thanks, mate. Love your company there, mate. Shame you've got to go out and do some business, but that's it. But just getting back to what I was talking about earlier with Harold there, Tottenham Hotspur. This is absolutely monument. This is massive, whichever way you try and sugarcoat it or dress it up. I've run through the statistics there with Thomas Frank. I mean, the thing is, Do the players take the blame, or should they take the blame? Because quite clearly they're not performing. And the Tottenham faithful have made their feelings quite clear over the last 8 games. And now the names being bandied about as coming in. Eric Redknapp, he's 78 years old. Ex-players are asking him to come in as interim manager till the end of the season. It's looking like the favourite to get the job is Pochettino in the summer. Would that be a good shout for Spurs, Poch? I don't think they will go back to Ange Postecoglou, to be honest. But Tottenham here, the question I'm asking you guys out there now is simply this. Spurs are 5 points off the relegation places at the minute. And the next game they play, it's the FA Cup at the weekend. So the next league game they play is the London Derby against Arsenal on the 22nd of February. So if it goes the way that everybody would expect it to go, and Arsenal win the London Derby, then that puts Tottenham 2 points in front of West Ham, providing West Ham have not won the games. So here's the $1 million question then. Could Tottenham Hotspur get relegated this season? It's a serious question. And I think it's one which, if I was a Tottenham fan now, I'd be fearing the worst. I think, you're never too big to go down. I can give you 2 clubs who did go down. It took them a lifetime to come back up. Nottingham Forest and Leeds United, just to name 2. So you're never too big to go down. But this has been breaking since 10 o'clock this morning, and what we're now 6 minutes past 3, and it's the biggest talking point of the day. Thomas Frank's been sacked, and who comes in as interim and who takes over in the summer, and more importantly, obviously Daniel Levy's no longer at Spurs. Will Tottenham survive? Will they stay up? Because when you watched them last night against Newcastle, who had not won for 8 games, the only game they'd won was the Champions League game against PSV. So when you're looking at that, Spurs, it's horrendous. It's shocking. I mean, considering that Thomas Frank was only brought in June 2025, and now it's February 2026. So 8 months in charge, and Tottenham have pulled the trigger. The board have had a meeting. They've listened to the fans, and they've pulled the trigger. They've done what my own club won't do. With Arne Slot, as I've said previously on the stream earlier on, and for those who didn't hear it, I'll recap it. I've been given some information today by a very good friend of mine. I'm not going to name him because I don't think it's fair. But he's got a friend who works at the Titanic Hotel in Liverpool. And apparently the Liverpool squad are walking in the Titanic, and they are extremely unhappy with the current situation from a coaching standpoint. They're not happy with the training sessions. They're not happy with the coach, and they are mourning like you wouldn't believe at the Titanic. Now, this has come out, and my mate's got wind of it. And that's why I've just mentioned it to my friend from Norway on the stream. My honest feelings are Slot should have gone after the PSV game, but he's not. And I still don't think anything's going to change until the summer. I think Arne Slot will still be in situ come next weekend when it's the FA. The league games are in the game. We've got the FA Cup coming up this weekend. We've got the game away tonight in Sunderland, which I honestly don't think we'll win. Sunderland have not been beaten at home all season, so why would they suddenly lose to a bang average Liverpool team? Because I don't think this squad is fit for purpose at the moment. And I don't like saying that as a diehard Red. I really don't. But I'm just calling it as I say it. Other channels won't. I don't know why. what they're frightened of. You pay your money, say what you think, say what you feel, but they won't. They're skirting around the issues. Everybody knows what the channels are. I don't have to name them because they're well known. And then there's one other channel in Ireland, and the guy, he gets absolutely slated from top to bottom. Craig Golden. Now, he's probably never heard of me, and he's probably never seen this, but I'm going to give him a mention. But he gets slated on Anfield Agenda, left, right, and centre, because he says it as it is. He calls it as he sees it. He says it as it exactly is. A lot of people don't like him, but at the end of the day, he's as much a Liverpool fan as me. And he says what he feels and he says what he thinks. And because he does that, he's been banned from Anfield. Really? For having an opinion? That can't be right, surely. You know, and yeah, he's not a big fan of FSG. We know that. But he comes out and he says what he thinks and he says what he feels. Now, I don't agree with everything he says. You know, I don't. And I'm not going to agree with everything he says. But there's a lot of stuff I do agree with. And he's right. And he's saying it. You've only got to look at the amount of subscribers he's got. They all can't be wrong, surely. Now, if he's watching this and he hears this, thanks very much. I appreciate it. But, you know, Craig can't be right all the time. He's got the same name as me. But he can't be right all the time. But when he is right, you've got to give him credit where it's due. And when he's wrong, just say, I don't agree with you there, fella. Don't go abusing him and threatening him and abusing his family. What's all that about? Come on, mind your neck in. Get a grip of yourself. You know, but, you know, so he says it as it is. I call it as it is. This is my own channel. I'll read that my friend there from Norway, Massive Fred, we become good friends. He says it as it is when he hosts. And the lads who come on, they're all big Reds, and they call it as it is. We're not skirting around. We're not dancing about here. We're passionate about football. We're passionate about Liverpool. Now, they'd sooner talk about Liverpool than other clubs. They've not really got much interest in it. But I'm a football fan and my life revolves around football, so I'll talk about it until the cows come home, and I'll talk about any club. You know, so this one today, Spurs, is massive. I mean, can you imagine Tottenham playing in the Championship? Just think about that for a second. Tottenham in the Championship, not in the Premier League. That doesn't bear thinking about. And when you think of the price of tickets and the price of admission, I made some notes on ticket prices, right? Because I intend to do a stream on it with the lads. I'm just going to have a look. Here we are, Tottenham. Right, because I wrote them all down for every Premier League club. So I'm just going to look at Spurs. Okay, so Tottenham Hotspur. The cheapest ticket at Spurs is £38. The dearest ticket at Tottenham Hotspur is £109. That's per game. So if you're paying £109 per game, and you're being served up what Thomas Frank served up for the last eight months, you're not going to be happy, are you? You're not getting what you paid for, right? And, you know, I mean, if you want, right, the dearest ticket in the Premier League, the highest price, this won't surprise you. The cheapest seat at Arsenal is £31.80. And the highest, the dearest ticket, this is not hospitality, by the way. This is £145.50 at the Emirates. So if you're an Arsenal fan and you're paying £145 a game, as where things stand at the minute, you're quite happy. Whereas if you're a Tottenham fan, you're the complete opposite. You know, so at the end of the day, the customer's always right, I think. But Tottenham, could the unthinkable happen? I can't answer it. I'm only seeing what everybody else is seeing out there. But let's be honest, your your brain says one thing, your eyes see it, your eyes say another. Your eyes don't lie to you. Your brain does, your heart does, because emotions kick in. Football's an emotional sport, but your eyes don't deceive you. So you've got to believe what you're saying, you know. So, and I think the players have got to take a massive responsibility for what's happened this morning, because they're not doing the job, they're not performing. And there's they've got 12 games left, and the 5 points clear of the drop. Could they go down? Could they go down? I can't answer that. I really can't. But it's madness, and I've looked at the league table, and it's bonkers. It really, really is. West Ham were unlucky last night not to come away with 3 points. Now, if they had, that would have put Spurs 2 points clear of the relegation zone. But United got an equaliser last kick of the game in the only place he could put it. So it's just, this season is absolutely nuts. I mean, I called it that Newcastle would win 2-1. I also called the Everton result that they'd get beat 2-1 by Bournemouth, and Everton were winning. I said United had beat West Ham, so I got that one wrong. I've not done my predictions for the games tonight, but I'm going to do them live now while we're on stream. I'm just going to bring the fixtures up, and I'm going to do them live now. So these are my thoughts on the games tonight in the Premier League, what we've got coming up. Okay, so 8:15 kickoff. I'll do that one last. So tonight we've got, there's 5 games tonight, starting with Aston Villa and Brighton at 7:30. That's going to be an absolute corker, that. Aston Villa. 2 good managers. Unai Emery, I do rate him. I think he's quality. Wouldn't surprise me if they won the Europa Conference League. It really wouldn't. I can see Villa winning that one 2-1. I know they've got injuries. Ursula, the Brighton manager, I do like him. He's young, good manager. But I can see Villa just sneaking it. And then same time, 7:30. There's 4 games at 7:30 and 1 at 8:15. Your next one on the list, Crystal Palace, Burnley. This has got to be a shoe-in for a Crystal Palace win. Probably, I'm going to go 2-0 Palace here, even though things are not great at Crystal Palace at the minute. We know the manager's going in the summer. They've already sold 2 of the star players in Ezra to Arsenal and Gay to Manchester City. Scott Parker and Burnley, they've fallen through the trapdoor for me. They're already doing what they do best, playing championship football. They are a yo-yo club, for sure. But I can't see anything other than a Palace win. Then we've got the next one down, Manchester City, Fulham. This will be a cracking game, but this is massive, because as I've just said on stream with Harold, if City win this tonight, they go 3 points behind Arsenal, and they've got to play them at the Etihad on the 18th of April. Put that in your diary. 18th of April, Man City versus Arsenal. Is it a league title decider? I think it is. And if City win that, I think City win the league. I think City will win it because of what happened on Sunday. I can see City edging this, even though they're not brilliant at the back. Marco Silva, good manager. So it's Harry Wilson playing out his skin at the minute. So it's not going to be easy. And then you've got a bottom of the table clash here. Nottingham Forest, Wolverhampton Wanderers. You'd have to side with Sean Dyche and Forest here. But Sean Dyche is under pressure as well, by the way. Because there's rumours coming out from the City ground that Sean Dyche is on the verge of being sacked. Which may, the chairman is and had the ball anyhow, he's a nutcase. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Forest win there. I don't see any issues for Sean Dyche here tonight. I'll be surprised if they got beat. And then the big game for me, City's a big game, yeah, but the biggest game of the night for me is my own club, Liverpool. 8:15 kick-off tonight at the Stadium of Light. They travel up to Wearside and they take on Sunderland, who have not been beaten at home all season. And Sunderland played well when they came to Anfield. This Sunderland team don't take any prisoners. They're well coached, they're well drilled, they're well organised. They're an hard team to beat. They defend well. They're lethal at throw-ins and set pieces. They will basically make life miserable for Liverpool tonight. The starting 11 for Liverpool, who's it going to be? I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to pick me 11 tonight for us. And I'll probably be wrong on it anyhow, so don't hold me on it. Obviously, in goal, we've got the liability, as I'm calling him at the minute. Alisson Becker. I wouldn't play Mamadashvili. Nothing against him. I think he's a great keeper, and he will be. But Becker in goal, but he's got to stay in his home area. Don't go wandering for me. And don't do anything stupid like you did against City. So Becker in goal. Left back, I'd play Kirkes. Centre half, Virgil van Dijk and Ibu Kanate. Then at right back, why not play Andy Robertson there? I'm sure he could do a job there. I wouldn't play No Pass Jones, as I call him. And Gomez is not trained, so he's not going to be fit. And I wouldn't play Endo. I don't trust him. I just don't think he's good enough. We should never signed him in the first place. And midfield, I wouldn't start Cody Gakpo on the left. I'd start Rio Ungamoa. If you're young enough, you're good enough. 17, fast, fearless. He'll take anybody on. I'd give him a run out tonight. I think he deserves it. And then obviously in the middle, you've got McAllister, who's going to be the linchpin. Szoboszlai suspended. You've got Gravenberch, and you'd have to play Curtis Jones in there as well. So you'd have not Szoboszlai. You'd have Gakpo on the left, McAllister, Gravenberch, Curtis Jones, spearheading that just in front of them, Florian Wirtz. And I wouldn't start Mo Salah. He doesn't start for me tonight because basically when Salah's playing, Liverpool are playing with 10 men. The game's left Mo Salah, whether you like it or not, it has. The game's left him, and he should have left before the game left him. He will be gone in the summer for me. But I wouldn't start Salah tonight. It won't happen, but he will start. But I'd start Federico Chiesa. Who'll be another one who'll be leaving in the summer. But Chiesa isn't going to get a kick at all. Slot clearly doesn't like him. And then up front, we've got Etiquette. He's didn't do much against City, disappointed. But this Liverpool team are shattered. They're running on empty, mentally and physically, they're drained. So this is going to be a painful watch for me tonight. It really is. And I'm expecting the result will be 2-1 to Sunderland. I'm expecting Liverpool to get beat. So I've already got that in my head anyway. So I'm not going to be disappointed when it happens. And as we've discussed on stream with my fellow Red, will Ernie Slot get sacked after tonight? No, he won't. Excuse me. Will he get sacked after tonight? Fortunately not. He'll still be in situ until the summer, and then it'll be all change, all hands on deck. So that's how I see that happening tonight. So yeah, I'm going to leave that there. It's been a 50-minute stream. I don't normally do streams in the afternoon, but with what's happened today in down south in London at Tottenham, and with the games we've got coming up tonight, which are equally as big as yesterday, and we'll have another shake-up to the Premier League table, no doubt. That's going to be it from me until tomorrow night, when we will do a post-match stream, which will be hosted by Alred. I'll be on as myself as a guest, and then the other two lads who could be, well, wait and see who joins us. So from Aldo from Alred TV, thanks for watching this afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed the debate and what we think about Spurs and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching, and we will see you all again very, very soon. Take care, whatever you're doing. If you're driving, take care, stay safe. Remember, we're here for a short time, not a long time. Oh, take care, guys. See you soon. Thanks for watching.